Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. And in this follow-up video, I'm going to tell you a little more about how long fruit can sit out that doesn't need to be refrigerated. And this is based on expert opinion and research. And I'll tell you a little more about my own personal experience with these fruits and vegetables. And do they really last long when you leave them out? But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, as well as my other videos on faith, health, and beauty, mashups, Netflix videos, and so much more all year round. Appreciate you so much. So, how long can fruit sit out? Well, experts say it depends on the fruit, but in general, most whole, uncut fruit can safely sit out at room temperature for 2 to 7 days. Now, some varieties, they say, like apples and citrus, can last even longer when kept in a cool, dry spot away from direct sunlight. So I'm going to give you a quick guide for how long experts say fruit can sit out, and then I'll tell you quickly a little bit about my own personal experience. First, bananas. Now bananas, they say, can last 2 to 5 days at room temperature, but store them away from other fruit to slow ripening, and also to keep your other fruit from going bad, including apples. For me, bananas last maybe 2 days max, especially if you live in a warm climate or it's summer season. So what we tend to do in our house is we leave only a few out to eat as they are. We freeze them to add to smoothies and make banana and ice cream and so forth. Now I do know some people actually store them in the refrigerator, and they say they're perfectly beautiful when you open the peel, even though they are black on the outside. If you've tried this, let me know your experience in the comments. I think I'm going to try that and then make a video for you on that. Next are citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, limes, and I'm going to also include mandarin because we eat a lot of mandarins. Experts say they last 1 to 2 weeks on the counter. I would say go more toward the lower number of 1 week, but again, in my experience, to extend these maximum time, put them in the refrigerator and they'll last you anywhere up to 2 months, as long as 3 months. Okay, next on our list are apples and pears. Experts say they can last between 5 and 7 days out of the refrigerator, longer in a cool pantry. Let me know your experience on this if you've done this. For me, apples and pears don't last in our house 5 to 7 days, especially in warm weather. They start to rot and have spots on them within a few days, even if they're organic, especially if they're organic. What I do is put them in open boxes like the ones you get from the store that are in the fruit department, and I store them in the refrigerator, and they last up to a month. And then if you find they are starting to go bad within a couple of days, store it out, slice them up, take out the spoiling parts, and put them in the freezer to add to smoothies, desserts, and so forth. Next up are avocados. Experts say they last 3 to 5 days at room temperature to ripen, but refrigerate them once they ripen if you need to. I say refrigerate them from the beginning because avocados now are costly, and why go ahead and let them spoil and then you have to throw them away and you don't get to use them. I say store them immediately and take them out as you use them in the refrigerator. Next up, stone fruit, peaches, nectarines, and plums. Experts say they last 2 to 3 days until ripe, then refrigerate them if not eaten. I'll say go ahead with that, especially if they're not ripe, and then put them in the refrigerator. I think that one's excellent. That's my experience, and that's the way that I handle stone fruits. Next, we've got the delicious pineapple and mangoes. Experts say 2 to 3 days whole at room temperature, refrigerate once cut. Let me tell you my experiences with each. For pineapple, I learned this trick from Flavor Christina. I wash them off, dry them, take off the top stem, and leave them in the refrigerator until I'm ready to core, peel, and either use them in juicing or cut them up and put them in one of those green containers that helps to extend the life of your fruits. If you do that, they'll last about a week in that green container. But if you leave them whole and store them in the refrigerator, they will last you up to 2 weeks. Mangoes, I find they're better to put in the refrigerator if they're fully ripe. If they're not ripe yet, leave them out until they're almost ripe, then store them in the refrigerator. They'll last you for about 7 to 10 days in the fridge. And lastly, melons, including cantaloupe, honeydew, and watermelon. Experts say they last up to a week whole on the counter. And I'll say this is true. But here's one tip I learned from one of my cousin's husbands. Rotate them twice a day. So when you wake up in the morning, roll that watermelon to the other side. Before you go to bed, rotate it again. If you consistently rotate twice a day and leaving them on the counter, it will absolutely last up to a week whole, no problem. But once you cut the watermelon, you need to either cut it up and store it in containers, juice it, or cover it with plastic or foil and store in your refrigerator. Let me know your personal experiences on leaving produce out in the comments below. And hopefully this has been helpful for you. If so, be sure to click that like button and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, as well as my other videos on faith, health, and beauty all year round. My name is Julie. Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and wonderful, my specials. See you next time.